You motherfucking two. You motherfucking you motherfucking
Yo, it's your boy Rilo Jenkins. Man, just had to step back in the game for a minute, man. You know, I can't lie, man. I've been a little disappointed with the shenanigans boxing lately, you know. Caught a couple of videos that just kind of caught up a little bit. Checked out a couple of 78 and a couple of D Styles. And of course, you know, my boys Zone and Boxing Talk, you know. And I'm gonna just touch on this HBO thing, man, because like from my first memories of boxing were Tuesday night fights on USA and HBO boxing, you know, but more so HBO. As far back as I can remember, you know, maybe, you know, a couple of years of my life, but we always kind of had cable, you know what I mean? My pops was a retired Ford guy, so, you know, back in those days, you know, he was pretty much making pretty decent money. So we always had cable. We always watched boxing. And, you know, I can remember a couple of times of watching like Worldwide of Sports on ABC. And I can remember some good fights on there, but I was too little. I wasn't really into it yet. But by the time I became a hardcore boxing fan, it was 99% HBO and 1% probably Tuesday night fights. So obviously the entire time that I watched boxing, it was Jim Lampley, Larry Merchant, and a slew of others, you know, the Manuel Stewarts, Roy Jones, George Foreman, Lennox Lewis, different guys, you know. And I think what happened, and the reason why HBO decided to cut the strings and get out the boxing game is not because, I mean, in an indirect way, you could blame Al Heyman. But believe you me, the last thing that any one of these promoters or advisors want to see is the biggest check writer get out of the game. But ultimately, I think what happened was there was a couple of situations, but I think it was a couple that really broke the camel's back. As bad as the shit had been getting with the exuberant amounts of money that people were trying to demand for fights, you had a situation where HBO had the two most popular fighters on the planet on a collision course to make more money than any two fighters have ever made in the history of boxing. Somehow, some way, the motherfuckers avoided fighting each other. And I think the higher ups, or maybe not even the higher ups, somebody looked at the situation and said, if we got two motherfuckers on our network with a guarantee to make more money than anybody has ever even dreamed about being offered to fight, and we can't get these motherfuckers to fight, something ain't right. Then, when they finally had to just let go of that situation because half of that situation left and went to do some other shit, you had Kovalev and Stevenson on a collision course both signed to the network. And then they said, well, if we couldn't make these motherfuckers fight for all the money in the world, and now these two motherfuckers here at light heavyweight, a division that's been kind of dead for a little while, finally got two fighters that people want to see fight, and we can't get these two motherfuckers together. It's time for us to restart to rethink this shit, because this what are we in this game for? What are we doing here? If we can't get this fight to happen, what the fuck are we doing here? And once Stevenson did his thing and shot his move, and they tried to salvage some things, Canelo being as popular as he was and a couple of big pay-per-view fights that he had probably helped to prolong them getting out of the game. But even the fact that him and his old, trying to hold up the fight ass shit happened as well, probably was the final straw that broke the camel's back and said, nah, we need to get the fuck on up out of here. Especially when we got 25 million people watching every episode each of Game of Thrones. Why are we putting any money into this shit where we get 700, 800,000 maybe on a good night to watch? Nah, let's beat it. And the bad part about it is, I don't know if obviously somebody has to be looking at the long game, but you never want the biggest check writer out the game. No, that only helps the people who write the checks. There is less competition. You know what I'm saying? The more competition, the more it's just like if you were selling a house. If you only got one person trying to purchase your house, they don't have nobody to bid against. You got to take what they give. If you got 10 people bidding on the house, then you could tell, you got some room to wiggle. You got some room to ask for more. If the New York Yankees somehow, some way, some miraculous thing happened and they had to fold up shop, the Boston Red Sox gonna be the happiest campers on the planet, because everybody who they had to shell out $20 and $30 million for, now it only got to be 25 and 15, because the only competition who could bid against them be out the game. That's good for those owners, bad for the players. They still gonna go play baseball, right? So when you take the biggest check writer out of the game, that's not good, because you don't have anything, no other bidders in that realm to make people want to add to their purchase price. So everybody was happy about the zone. And, I think it has a chance, but they just showed their true flag. This Canelo deal, to me, was not, I didn't like it. Myself, I didn't like it. Everybody wants to, pump the pom-poms for Canelo not fighting on pay-per-view. It don't bother me, because when Canelo fought Liam Smith, I didn't give a fuck. I didn't watch that shit. I wasn't involved in it. When he fought Amir Khan, I didn't watch it. I wasn't involved. It didn't bother me at all that he fought Amir Khan on pay-per-view. I just didn't talk about it. I didn't watch it. Didn't matter to me. Just like him fighting this dude that he's fighting. It doesn't matter to me. But what DAZN did, they showed their true hand. They are in the celebrity boxing game as well. And that is a blood boxing term. He coined that, I believe. I'm not sure if he did or not, but that's where I heard it. Celebrity boxing. You got a lot of these guys that are into celebrity boxing. I'm not into it. Now, if two celebrity boxers decide to fight and it's a fight that I'm interested in, I'm going to watch. But I'm not interested in Terrence Crawford and John Molina. I'm not interested in the Charlos and them fighting, whoever the hell they fighting. Those guys wasn't on my list of fights that I thought were acceptable for the Charlos. So when there's fights that don't move me, don't interest me, I got a ton of other shit that I can do. I got a big stash of beer that I can go to and drink up, watch me some college football, pull me out a Padron 1926 series, 90th anniversary edition, and I can chill like a motherfucker. And I won't care one bit now. My interest in boxing is slowly but surely waning away, because at least I did. I waited for two sucker motherfuckers to go do some sucker shit for so long and get the fuck out the game. And I thought that once they left, that it would get good again, that people would start fighting. I remember Zone talking about this in one of his last videos. He was saying that guys were putting their careers on hold trying to see what one motherfucker was going to do. And that was some stupid, it was stupid for all of those guys who did that. It didn't make sense because the only way you going to make no money in boxing is to fight no fights. And as long as you not fought waiting to see if you could fight this dude, you were not making money. So it was a chance for a whole lot of guys to grasp the reins. But it always takes two to tango, though. I mean, they can't get in the ring and fight themselves. And a lot of these guys just showing their colors. I don't know if it's the fault of the fighters, the promoters, or who. I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? It don't really make sense to me. But I know that as a promoter, these guys only get paid if the fighters fight too, right? But for them, it don't matter who they fight. They still gonna get their cut of the money, I suppose. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about none of these guys getting rich, how much money they make. That concerns me not one iota. And I don't watch boxing to help these guys get rich. I genuinely have an enjoyment for the sport. The same way I do football. I don't care that Matthew Stafford makes, $25 million a year. To me, he's underperforming. I wouldn't say he's overpaid or underpaid because I don't care what he makes. But he ain't getting it done on the field for me. That's the only thing that matters to me. If he was making $500,000 or $500 million, it wouldn't matter. If he was getting it done on the field, I think he was doing okay. But he's not getting it done. So to me, he ain't worth $1. He can kick rocks. But I know it's a business to the people who write the checks, though. So I understand in that realm of thinking. But for me, it don't matter. I'm not a Ford, I'm not a Heyman or Aram. How much money these guys make makes me not one iota of a bit of difference. So HBO getting out the game was not good for the boxers. Slightly good for us as fans because that was one hurdle or obstacle that is eliminated from fights that we want to happen, not happening. But then when the Zone got in the game and they got this big Canelo thing and signed him to, that just showed me their true hand. Now, they are what HBO was. They will be a roadblock obstacle for certain fights probably not to happen. I don't give a fuck about Canelo or how much money he makes. If he's not fighting a dude that I want to see him fight, I don't give a fuck if he put it on for free. I'm not watching it. So, no, I'm not ordering the Zone because they got Canelo. I mean, if I do order the Zone, it definitely won't be because of Canelo. That's damn for sure. It will not simply be because of any one fighter. I don't give a damn about none of these guys in that fashion, that manner. I'm not in it to try and make these guys rich. You know, some of y'all might be. That's cool. You know, everybody has their own prerogative. But not me. I just want to see good fights. That's all. And if I got to pay for a good fight, I pay for it. But if you put some bullshit on for free, that don't matter to me. I'm not watching it. I get to see some bullshit every Sunday in the fall and the winter called the Detroit Lions. I can enjoy that for free every fucking Sunday from September to December. And then I can watch the Pistons every other day from December to April or May. And then I got the fucking Tigers that I can watch for free. Like, I don't need to pay for some shit that I don't want to see. I don't need to talk about it. That's why I don't talk about. That's why I ain't been on YouTube. And, you know, just talking to Zone the other day, and I was like, there literally right now only one fight on the books that I halfway give a fuck about. That's Fury and Wilder. It's the only fight that listen, here's another term that I got. Pyramid opponents. Pyramid opponents to me, and this is this is a term that I came up with. Maybe somebody else used a similar term, but I haven't heard it. But I say the pyramid opponent because there's a capstone. We know what the capstone of a pyramid is. And every guy in boxing that we care about has a capstone opponent. For instance, Terrence Crawford. His capstone opponent would be right now Errol Spence. But the two base opponents, you know, the base on each end, and you could even say 4 if you wanted to. You could even throw 4 other opponents in there. Would be other guys that are acceptable to fight. So you literally would, in essence, have 4 opponents and a capstone opponent. So for Terrence Crawford, his capstone opponent would be Errol Spence. But obviously his base opponents or other acceptable guys for him to fight would be a Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Kell Brook, maybe even Amir Khan. You know, you can mix and match those. But those are guys that would be acceptable opponents. But if you get somebody outside of that, it's a bullshit fight to me. Because I know that we're not always going to get this capstone opponent, this big mega fight all the time. I get it. I mean, it's virtually impossible for that to happen. You know, the numbers don't match up. But in all reality, when you think about it, it almost could. Because the new modern day, like the most logical type of career to have would be Vasyl Lomachenko. Like, he skipped over the whole let me fight 15 bums. You know, my first 5 opponents combined record is 39 and 154. He skipped over all of that shit. There was no need for him to be in those fights. You know? And a lot of these other guys, I mean, Deontay Wilder got 40 fights and shit, and we only know about 17 of them. Nobody gave a fuck about the first 26 guys he knocked out. You know what I'm saying? There was no need, really. I mean, I'm sure he probably got paid and good for him, but I mean, we literally have watched every fight of Lomachenko's career. And that's how it should be. The young kid, with dimples. Aram's, damn. The young ass little boy looking dude. What is his name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm getting old now, man. I'm having a brain fart, but y'all know the kid. He just turned 20 or maybe 21. We're watching his career, but maybe because we're watching his career in totality, maybe he will skip some of these bum fights. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get you want to bring him up slow, but why wait? You know, like Snickers, man. Why wait? So with the bowing out of HBO, and now we got certain promoters stuck to certain platforms. It's just more hurdles and obstacles for the fights that we want to see not to happen. And like some of you guys have been saying already, what we have to do is exercise our power by not talking about certain guys, not talking about certain fights, and talk about the fights that we deem to be important and serious and appropriate. The World Boxing Super Series. I like that. I agree with it wholeheartedly, 100%. That will probably be my main reason for ordering the zone if I ever decide to. I mean, I'm just not sure about it being enough content to warrant me paying another $10 a month. You know, I mean, shit, like D Styles was saying, I paid $10 for Netflix or 11, whatever, and $8 for Hulu, 150. I mean, shit. So they just haven't put on the type of content for me to warrant another $10 a month yet. Maybe they will, but it definitely won't be because they signed Canelo. I'm telling you that right now. Now, if Canelo was fighting, Danny Jacobs or Charlo or some shit like that, yeah, I'm all in. But not to be fighting some dude I ain't never heard of. That is not going to be making me fucking subscribe to some shit. Oh, no. Not even, they could have put that shit on Fox at halftime of a Lions game. That probably would have been the only way they'd got me to watch that shit. But I have no interest in this guy that Canelo was fighting, There's certain fights that I want to see. And I mean, it's so much bullshit in the game that even the fights that I really want to see, I'm losing interest in those. Like, it's just so much bullshit in the game right now. So I'm going to dip all in to this Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder fight, even though I don't expect it to be a good fight at all. It is a very necessary and serious and significant fight. It meets all the three criterias of a fight that should be happening. But based on what we know about Tyson Fury, I don't expect it to be an exciting fight. I don't expect to be wanting to see that shit again after I'm done watching it. But he's definitely in the pyramid of opponents for Deontay Wilder and vice versa. But everybody else, I'm not. And I'm definitely not finna be talking about guys who aren't fighting, especially aren't fighting each other. I'm not finna argue about who the fuck whose fault it is that they ain't fighting. Are y'all niggas? Did y'all niggas were y'all niggas hiding under a rock for the last 7 years or something? What the fuck? Y'all niggas are seriously gonna go back and forth and argue about two motherfucking fighters not fighting each other now? Really? Listen, man, you will never hear me talking about no shit like that again never again on my channel. Not at all. No way, no how. And when them niggas decide to fight some people that are in their pyramid of opponents, I'll watch. When they ain't, I ain't watching. This Mikey Garcia jumping up as if he didn't have like a real live, real popular, real skilled, significant fight in his weight class that motherfuckers wanted to see. It don't make sense to have a guy who's hella popular in your weight class with a belt you can make hella money off of to go fight another motherfucker who need to be fighting motherfuckers in his own weight class. It don't. See, I know some people going, oh man, it's a fight. You should be happy, Rollo. Oh. I get it, man. I get it. If you interested in it, I mean, look. I was watching 78 video the other day, and I guess somebody asked him, who is your favorite rappers in today's game? And I mean, he didn't say 21 Savage. I know that nigga got a lot of fans. He didn't say Migos. They got a slew of motherfuckers who love their music. But just like probably for him, for me, that just ain't my shit. I ain't gonna tell somebody else not to watch. I'm just saying what I'm not gonna do. Who I'm not gonna talk about and what I'm not gonna talk about. And that's how I'm gonna move going forward. That's why you ain't gonna see me on here that much, because it ain't that much going on. Like, for so long, it was just, I would click on just to try and, catch up, because I just wasn't even watching shit. And it was for weeks. For weeks, it's like, Crawford Spence. He's saying this, he doing that. Blame Aaron, blame Heyman, blame fucking the kids and shit. Like, these niggas ain't fighting. Until they fighting each other. Or at least some niggas in their pyramid of opponents. I'm not paying attention to this shit, man. So, if Earl Spence go fight some nigga who should be fighting at 135 pounds, you won't hear me talking about it. I ain't gonna be bashing it. I ain't gonna talk shit about it. I'm just not gonna talk about it. If they try and dig some bag of bones up for Terrence Crawford to fight, them niggas could fight in my living room, and I'm not gonna pay attention to them. Fuck it. And that's how I'm moving now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sad to see HBO bow out the game, but I see why. I completely understand why. I get it. I mean, they in the business of putting on big shows. I mean, you get to a position in the game and you can't get Kovalev and Adonis Stevenson in the ring together. Like, they went so far from, we can't get the two most popular, highest paid athletes in the world. We can't get these motherfuckers in the ring, and we gonna offer them double or triple what they making now. We can't get them in the ring, and we can't get these two niggas, these two light heavyweights in the ring, Gator. Nah. It's time to pack it up. Let's go grab us a drink, sit at the bar and drink some Manhattans or something. It's your boy, Rollo Jenkins. Holla at your boy.